Watch this.
Page 12, it talks about the sin that can never be forgiven.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is the sin of blasphemy against the Spirit.
Correct.
Why is it that there's a sin that God can never forgive, especially contradicting to the idea of grace and mercy?
You bet.
Throughout the Bible.
I've never converted anybody. That's the Holy Spirit who does that. Now, if the Holy Spirit convicts me of a sin, and I start whitewashing my sin, saying, oh, it really wasn't that bad, what I did. If the Holy Spirit begins to convict me and tug on my heart that I did wrong, and I start blaming other people, what I'm doing is I'm resisting the Spirit of God. When the Holy Spirit draws me to Christ, and I start throwing up ridiculous excuses to run away from Christ, if I play that game long enough, the Holy Spirit begins to remove himself from me, and I sear my conscience. Obviously, that's what a lot of people did to African American slaves. They seared their consciences. They got to the point where they thought, evil is good. Good is evil. So I don't know when it occurs, ma'am, but a human being could get to the point where they can't hear the voice of God any longer because they have so seared their conscience. They've so hardened their heart. An example of this in the Old Testament is Pharaoh. 7 times. First 7 times we read, Pharaoh hardened his heart. Then we read, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. But first of all, it was Pharaoh hardened his heart. You want to play enough games with me? We're never going to have a friendship. Similarly, you play enough games with God, you'll never get to know God. Because you have so distanced yourself from him by playing trite games, no longer can you hear his voice. If you have a desire to ask Christ for forgiveness and to trust in him, it shows you've not committed that sin. The only people who've committed that sin of blasphemy against the Holy Spirit could give a rip. Christ is irrelevant.